and we encourage you to stay till the end for all the good stuff we have lined up this evening. Now let's get started. Um, First off, please join me in welcoming our host, Mr. Ari Yakub, the founder of the data science community, to officially open the session for us this evening. Good evening, Mr. Ari Yakub.
All right, thank you. Good evening, blessing, PR. Thanks for the warm welcome. So I tried to turn on my camera, just a brief on the side notes. I tried to turn on my camera. I discovered I was looking so dark. Do you guys still want me to continue? I
Oh,
should just, do I need to turn on my
yes,
camera or I could just try?
you can
Just so you have try to
continue
put a
with
space
the
behind the
camera.
name. I don't know. My ring light, I couldn't find my ring light. A couple of other things made the camera to look that way, but it's fine. The lighting in my room is not that bad. My study rather is not that bad. All right, so I'll just do a brief introduction about myself. So at least if you've seen the face, let me just do a brief introduction about myself. I'm Harrison Yakubu, a Microsoft certified data and associate Microsoft certified trainer. Lead a couple of analytical teams here and there. Pretty much, if you discuss with me privately, you pretty much understand what I do on a close note. Founder and CEO of Visualities, founder of Data Science Club, and of course the convener of Data Science Club. Uh, so pretty much that's pretty much about me. A couple of guys have heard me speak online, radio, podcast, and all of that. So I pretty much carry the data storytelling here and there. My main focus is to see how we can bridge the gap between the Western world and Sub-Saharan Africa, right? The gap in technological adoption, both in businesses and of course as individuals. And that's why we are here today as Data Science Club, right? To make sure we propagate this good news, right? The good news of data and artificial intelligence. And by data, I mean by extension, data science, data analytics, business intelligence, business analytics, and the likes, right? And everything that surrounds data and data management, including compliance, right? Of course, so you can talk about compliance with me, and of course, I could guide you through that. Just so you know, I had also got a certification on data protection. As a data protection officer, I'm a certified data protection officer, right, to help the compliance aspect of data, right? That being said, let me do a brief introduction about Data Science Club. I was supposed to use a slide, but for me, I don't just want this to be too formal. So for that note, I decided to say let's keep things simple so that we can get more hands-on experience by actually understanding what data storytelling is all about. So basically, this is meant really for Data Science Club members, right? It's just by extension, I decided to extend a arm of friendship to our counterparts, our friends, and our well-wishers. That's those people that are outside of Data Science Club so that they can be beneficiary of this kind of wonderful initiative. So, quick one about Data Science Club. Data Science Club was born with the intention of mitigating the risks of getting into the data space, data and artificial intelligence space, right? And also to help create a community of like-minded individuals and then push us towards a goal of creating a data science and artificial intelligence space within Nigeria and by extension Sub-Saharan Africa. We tend to spread our tentacles around the world. Just sometime early this year, we engaged with some guys in Canada. Some people within this space trained some guys in Canada at NGO level to also teach them, although most of them are Nigerians. You have people from South Africa, people from Ghana, people from Asia and the likes, right? Come we're on our call, India and the likes. So basically, that's what we do to propagate the good news. Data Science Club stands on two major pillars, just so we know. Data Science Club stands on two major pillars. This is the point I believe everyone should take notes so that you can hold us responsible whenever we drift from these goals, right? What's the first? The first pillar is we have created a club right? For, like I said earlier, like-minded individuals. And what are we supposed to do in this club, right? The first pillar is that we want to ensure that everyone in the club is gainfully employed, right? Either by getting a full-time 9 to 5 job, being a 9 to 5er, or becoming a consultant, a standalone consultant, or being a part of a team, a startup, and being a part of a startup. Probably you're building AI products, you're building data products, you're building business intelligence products, all of these things. So along the line, as you get to know us better, you begin to see some of the products you're going to be churning out very soon, right? So this is part of the reasons why we are doing all of this, to educate us properly, to equip us for this time we're looking out for, right? That being said, the first pillar has 3 action points. So please take notes. The first pillar has 3 action points. The first pillar of data science club stands on has 3 action points. Please, who can remind me what the first pillar is before I go ahead? Anybody apart from the community members? I just talked about the first pillar. I just want to be sure we are following. Anyone? You might get a gift from me. Never can tell. Hello? Nobody?
Are we there?
Wow. Troops. Say again. So, Chooks, I think we might
Hello,
have to,
can I
call
some
on. All right, please tell us your name, what you do, and tell us what the first pillar is. And also, if you're a member of Data Science Club currently or not. So the question, I just told us the first pillar of the Data Science Club stands. I said we are standing on 2 major pillars. I've just told us the first pillar, and I said I have not mentioned the 3 action points. I just only mentioned the first pillar. So what is the first pillar? So if you want to answer the question, tell us your name, tell us what you do currently, and you also tell us if you're a member of Data Science Club currently or not. And then answer the question quickly. Trust me, there's no right or wrong answer, but at least I just gave us the answer. I just want to be sure we are following. So it's not just that I'm just talking and planning listening.
okay, good evening everyone.
Please can you go ahead? Good
Okay,
evening. Good evening.
my name is Idoga Andrew from Lagos.
Okay.
So currently
Right.
I'm an aspiring student of data analysis. Currently I'm not a
All right.
student, I'm not part of the committee of the data science club.
Data Science Club.
I'm not part of the committee
So
yet.
we like to be part of.
I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
All right. No
Um,
problem.
for the for the question you asked, I think when the one of the pillars you mentioned is that for us to be gainfully employed. I think
Hmm.
that's what you said.
Great. Well done. A round of applause for him, please. Round of applause. Please remind me your name again.
Idoga Andrew. Yes.
Andrew, Doga Andrew. So if you end up becoming a data science club, you get a gift.
Yes.
A member of the data science club, you get a gift from us, basically. All right, so that's beautiful. So the very first thing is the fact that everybody in data science club, very first pillar is the fact that everybody in data science club is gainfully employed, either by getting a 9 to 5 job, a regular 9 to 5 job, as a data analyst, a data scientist, an AI engineer, a data engineer, or in any of these fields, basically in data and AI space, right? Or becoming a consultant or being a part of a startup, right? Either you're building data products or AI products, right? Now, in order for us to achieve this, the first pillar, we have 3 action points, which is upskilling, visibility, and a great portfolio. Let me put it the other way, say differently. Upskilling, a great portfolio, and visibility. So what we intend to help you do is to upskill within the space, learn and work with the guys in the team to learn the skill set, just like the guy who said he wants to be is an aspiring data analyst student. So we help you and guide you through that, right? To ensure that you upskill as quick as possible, then you you get a great portfolio by being a member of the firm. Because, of course, for you to get a good job, you need a good portfolio to show to your employers or your prospects, right? Your proposed employers, right? So they help you get the. Sorry, someone is trying to just disturb this call by giving me a call on WhatsApp, but it's fine. I'll get back to that. So we ensure you upskill, you get a great portfolio, and then of course we give you visibility. So upskilling, a great portfolio and visibility. Please don't forget that. Right, that's the first pillar and the three action points under the first pillar. Then the second pillar is that we've created a club, a community of like-minded individuals to be burden bearers. What do I mean by that? So you are trying to get into the data science space. You are trying to understand a particular technology. You are trying to understand what Python is. What you are trying to understand what different libraries in Python you're supposed to use. You're trying to understand how Power BI works. You're trying to understand SQL. You're trying to understand agentic AI. You're trying to understand all of these technical nuances, right? That is why we've created this community to work with you as burden bearers so that you can share some of the problems you have, some of the issues you have in trying to navigate the data space, and then we can help each other. I hope that is understood. So the first pillar is that we want everybody in data science club to be gainfully employed either by getting a 9 to 5 job in the data science space or being a consultant or being a part of a tech startup or an AI startup, right? Then the three action points to achieve that is upskilling, a great portfolio, and visibility, right? Then the second pillar is a community of like-minded individuals that have become burden bearers to ensure that we share burden. That's what I mean, burden bearers that we share burdens within the space. So thank you very much for having me talk to you guys. Thank you very much for being on the call. I welcome you all to enjoying this wonderful presentation that will be done today. So because we notice that most of us that are in the club really don't understand how to present good, do a good storytelling with your dashboard, present or create interactive dashboards. We have decided to put this together. And many other webinars will come up, right? That's why you need to be a part of the club, right? Many other webinars will come up, right, to help us, get into the space. Webinars, seminars, we have different programs. Later on, we'll talk about that within the space. We'll tell you about our tech in trenches, we'll tell you about Lagos AI Summit and all of that. Very soon, we'll talk about all of that. But please join us today, enjoy today, right, this program, and just know that this is the harbinger. This is a harbinger for many other things to come. All right. If you once again, I want to reintroduce myself. I'm Harrison Yakubu. Thank you so much for allowing me, mentor you through this stage, right? And if you allow me, humbly speaking, I'd love to be your mentor moving forward so that we can all build a great data science space within Nigeria and by extension sub-Saharan Africa. And we're going to shock the world. And just like our community manager always says, that we are data professionals with a difference. And we are going to experience that difference in our lives, both in our professional lives and our personal lives, through Christ our Lord. Amen. So thank you so much for having me. Enjoy the evening. Cheers. Blessings over to you.
A round of applause for Ari, please. Thank you so much for that warm welcome and for championing platforms like this to help grow peeps in the data space. And of course, thank you so much for that lovely speech. Up next, it will be my pleasure to introduce our speaker for today because I would like us to get straight into business. So, our speaker for today is none other than Mr. Chukwutem Ossai, the HND Banking and Finance. He has an MCT, MCE, MCSA, and MOS in Excel. He has trained over 5,000 participants. He has 8 years training experience in dashboard reporting expert, data warehousing consultant, and of course, business intelligence consultancy. Let's give a round of applause for Mr. Chukwutem Osai, our seasoned data analyst and Power BI expert, who is going to help us walk through the ins and outs out of how to use Power BI, not just to analyze numbers, but to tell compelling stories that will drive business decision. Please, let's make sure to take notes. And again, feel free to post your questions in the chat during the session. And of course, during the Q&A sessions, we will get to your question. Over to you, Mr. Chukwutem.
Thank you very much for the introduction. My name is Ossai Chukwutem Ossai, and I welcome all of you all to this particular section. Today we'll be looking at data storytelling through visualization using Power BI. First of all, we want to talk about data storytelling. Data storytelling combines data, visuals, and narrative to present insight in a compelling way that informs and influences audience. Okay, because before you can one of your traits or one of the skill you must possess as a data analyst it is not just okay for you to it is not just okay for you to analyze data, not just analyzing the data, but taking it a step further by telling stories, by giving compelling stories using that same data that has been analyzed and visualized. You know, as a data analyst, you have five major tasks. Okay, if you are to analyze data, you have five major tasks. Number one is to clean the data. Number two, number one, you prepare the data. Preparing the data has to do with you using the Power Query to get your data from the source. And after getting the data from the source, you clean, you transform the data and then load. Then after loading, you create visuals. Okay, visuals in this sense might be different kind of charts, which is tables, cards, and all that. So those are visuals. We have the clustered column chart and a lot of chart. There are a lot of custom visual chart that you can use that is on the Power BI custom on the custom page. So you'll be able to use those, not just creating it alone. At the end of the day, you will now begin to explain what has been done within that analysis, that within those visuals that is popping up. Okay, so that will now lead you to storytelling, because storytelling through visuals is making our report a way more impactful. Okay, because the reason is that visuals speak louder than spreadsheets, and especially when you now arrange your visuals in a dashboard. I can tell you that your dashboard worth 1,000 rows of data. Okay, just a single page of dashboard report, all right, speaks more volume than an entire than an entire spreadsheet. And you quite agree with me that all these I've said will be made easier, okay, using the Power BI tool to get these things done. All right. So let us now see why it matters. It matters because it helps us to simplify. It helps us to simplify complexity. So when you have a kind of complex situation, or when you have a kind of complex data set, you will be able to simplify it by creating visuals and then telling stories using that visual that has been created. Also, it supports faster decision making, because with the story you tell, okay, it will help the end users of your reports, okay, to understand what what the situation is, and at the end of the day, it will enable such end users of your report to make decisions faster. And storytelling using visuals in Power BI builds trust. It builds trust and credibility. Okay, whosoever hears you speak using data, um, definitely you'll be trusted, and they know that whatever thing you are saying is highly credible. I used to tell people that the man that you must fear is a man that speaks using data, or a man that tells a story using what? Using data. Some of the benefits of data storytelling is it humanizes your data. Okay, you'll be speaking to your data as if your data is human. That's what it means. You'll be speaking to your data as if your data is what is human. So it helps to humanize data. Those are part of the benefit. You can it helps to add value and relevance. It supports strategic goals, okay, and enhances audience engagement. So if you really want to engage your audience, if you really want to engage the end users of a particular report, it is true what it is true data story telling. Now, some of the steps for you to create a data story is: number one, you analyze the data. If you don't analyze data, you won't be able to tell any story using data, because that is where the story actually comes from the analysis of that data. And that is why we are here in this class. Okay, so the first thing first is to what? Is to analyze data. And the second step is to what? To define an hypothesis. An hypothesis is more like a question, okay, that is having both alternative and that is having an alternative. Okay, you pose a particular question, and that question you pose, you tend to answer that question, and in the process of answering that question, you as well want to see if there are other alternatives if you do not achieve a particular one. That is what hypothesis in this place means. It means that you must have a well-defined hypothesis. All right. And then the next thing is to create a narrative around the hypothesis that has been created. Okay, is to create a narrative. All right. And after creating a narrative, you set a goal for audience action. Because when you create a narrative, whosoever that listens to you, we want to know the action to take. All right. So it's just like you are looking at a sales data, and after looking at the sales data, you're able to tell them that from this from the look of things, that there is an upward trend in the sales. And since there's an upward trend in the sales based on the time analysis that you have carried out, then it is now pertinent for them. It is now pertinent for whosoever that is consuming that data to maintain that same strategy, or even improve on the strategy to get more sales. Okay, so that will now form the goal for your audience action. Okay, so meaning that you have given them an insight, you have let it through your story, you have been able to tell them that yes, sales has been on the high trend. And since sales has been on the high trend, you also want them to either maintain it or also improve on the strategy. So that will now send a signal, that will send an action point to whosoever is listening to you, to be able to carry out that particular action. And above all, or the last but not the least, which is avoid bias. Make sure while you are analyzing, avoid bias. As one who wants to tell a good story using data, avoid what? Avoid bias. Tell the story exactly the way it is, even when the result is that bad. Okay, that ensure you set a goal for them to improve, even when the result is bad. Ensure you set a goal for the audience and avoid bias. Because when you avoid bias, that is when whosoever is listening to you will know that you are credible. Okay, where there is a loss, you should let them know that there is a loss and they can improve on it. And where there is a problem, ensure you point out the problem and also point out the cause of the problem. Okay, without bringing bias into it, because you bringing bias into it will definitely mislead your audience or the consumer of your report. Also, using visuals to enhance your storytelling, because when you, after telling your stories, okay, before you begin to tell stories, you have to analyze your report. That is the first step. And in that process of analyzing, that is when you now begin to use what? Begin to use visuals. I can I can categorically tell you that there are different kinds of visuals, and your ability to understand the visual to use gives you an edge. Do you understand? It gives you an edge when you are telling your story. So let's say, for example, you want to compare categories within your data set. Okay, some of the data or some of the charts that you'll be using are basic charts like the column chart, the bar chart, the line chart, the pie chart, the area chart. Okay, some of these will help in order to compare values across categories. Okay, it will help you to compare values across categories. And if you want to also talk about proportion of an entire whole, you can use the pie chart or the donut chart. Okay, you can use the pie chart or the donut chart. And when you are trying to create relation, or you are trying to view relationship between two variables, there your scatter plot will help you to tell a better story. Okay, your scatter plot will help you to tell a better story. And if you want to give a kind of variation between different kind of within different kind of variables, you can as well use your bubble chart. Now there are some other advanced visuals like the histogram, the waterfall chart, the funnel chart, the Bosk and Whisker. We have the tree map. We have the key influencers. Okay, all these we will see. I'll try as much as possible to use one of these visuals in my explanation and in my demo shortly. Okay, so visuals, all these visuals I've mentioned now, if you are to tell story with them, it helps you to enhance the storytelling, because whosoever you are telling the story to will be seeing the visual. And while seeing the visual, the person will be able to relate with what you are saying. So it helps data to be more engaging and understandable. So one will be able to understand. Okay, seeing a bar that is great, that is more higher than the rest, or someone will see that and say, yes, this is a very good it will be easier for anybody to understand. And also and some of the examples are graphs, charts and infographics, just like I have mentioned earlier on. And also the benefit of using visuals to enhance storytelling is that it gives engagement and clarity and understanding. All these three are the major benefits of visuals. And not just having your visuals, it is good that when you create a lot of visuals, place them within a what? Place them within a dashboard. Place them within a dashboard. When you place them within a dashboard, um, dashboards are very powerful because it is a pager. It is just a single page report containing so many visuals telling a powerful story. I can tell you that your dashboard is more powerful than thousands of rows on any spreadsheet, because your dashboard would have helped in order to track your KPIs. It would have helped you to track your KPIs. It will show you trend analysis. Your dashboard will be able to see insights, or we'll be able to view insights on real time. Okay, and also it will, it will help you to present your data, your report in a digestible form, in a digestible format. That is what the dashboard do for you. And in all this that I have said so far, the three key elements of the three key elements of data storytelling is: number one, narrative; number two, visuals; then number three, data. Okay, from the data you'll be able to create your visuals, which is analyzing. From the visuals, then you'll be able to create your narrative. These are the three key elements in what has been said so far. So some of the examples of data storytelling is when you build a dashboard analysis, maybe for a call center, or for the performance of sales in a particular organization, or you build an infographics. Okay, and infographics helps a lot. I can tell you, I've used it and it has helped. Okay, infographics helps a lot. Okay, infographic visuals, and as well the Microsoft Power BI dashboard. When you build dashboard in your Microsoft, Power BI, it those are some of the examples that I can give you for now. Now, some of the features of data storytelling is changing how we consume data. You know, uh, gone are those days where you just build your where you just build report so shabbily, and people don't understand what you are building. But when you are able to tell story using data, it will be easier to what it will be easier to it will be easier it will be easier for people to consume, and those are some of the future. Let's say, for example, I want to talk about the past election. I want to talk about the past election of the past presidential election. Now, what if I now come out and tell you, Peter Obi won? You will ask me, where is my evidence? Do you understand? But if I'm showing you with data, if I'm showing you this statement using data, okay, it will be easier for you to understand me, and to you, you will see me as someone who is credible. But just imagine I come out and tell you Peter Obi won, and the result is showing that Tinubu won. Now the question is, where did I get my data from? Do you understand? So your ability to tell story with data will build credibility for you, and that is the future. That is the future. Another thing is that it helps you to another feature of it is that it adds human touch and can transform business communication so easily, so easily. And Power BI a crucial what play a crucial role in all of this. So let's go into the demo proper. Let me just, I wouldn't want to take you through the azure of getting data, and I wouldn't want to take you through the azure of getting data, and the begin to begin to clean data and all that. What I will just do is I will bring up an already existing report. I will show you the data, and then I will tell you the kind of story. I will give you an insight of the kind of story I want to tell from the data, and then a dashboard will be displayed. Then from there, we will now create. So let me open up one of the reports I have here. Let me share my screen so that you can see what I am doing. So I'm
So
opening the, Okay.
between the class, Mr. Chukwutem. Please let's remember that we can take notes and then ask questions and also drop our questions in the chat while the visualization that Mr. Chukwutem wants to show up comes up. Let's try our possible best to make sure we're doing that. Thank you very much. And I hope we're enjoying the masterclass. Back
Great.
to you, Mr.
Thank you.
Chukwutem.
Yeah, thank you very much for that interlude. So let me share my screen. Let me stop sharing this and share my screen. Share my screen. Stop sharing this. Stop sharing and share my entire screen. Great. So can you see my screen now? Now I have this complex data set with me. You see this data set has a lot of columns and has a lot of rows. Let me see how many rows this data set is having. Control Shift down. Okay. So wow, this is about 51,290 rows, which is massive. And how many columns does this data set has? This data set has about 24 columns in all. It has about 24 columns in all. We have the role ID, we have the order ID, the order date, the ship date. So this data is all about an electronic store, or it's all about a store that sells different it's all about a store that it's all about a store that sells in different markets, in different regions, and in different countries of the world, and in different cities in those countries. So as the sales are coming in, we have the order ID for each of the orders. We have the order date, that is the date that the order was made. We have the ship date. We have the ship mood. Okay, the mood at which the ship that each of the customers are using. Okay. Also, we have the customer ID. Okay, and we have the customer name. Wow, this is massive. We have the segment. Okay, the segment of each customer. Okay, we also have the city. We have the state. We have the state where that city is located. We have the country where that state is located. We have the postal code. We have the market. We have the market where that particular customer is ordering from, or where that order came from. We have the region. We have the product ID. Wow, this is so massive. We have the product ID. We have the product category. We have the product subcategory. We have the product name. We have the sales. We have the quantity. We have the discount given. We have the profit. We have the shipping cost. We have the order priority. Wow. So this is a lot of data. Now it is now left for you to now choose the kind of story you want to tell in with this kind of data. I can tell you, there are hundreds of stories to tell from this data. Hundreds of stories. Now, one of the story I would love to tell here is to see year on year how our sales has been happening. Okay, so I want to tell a story around it, and I want to build a visual in order to tell that story. Okay, now when I now see the data on year on when I see the sales on year, then definitely I will be able to tell my story. I want to also see the trend. I also want to see the sales trend. Okay, so please make sure you go along with me. From this, you will be able to tell your own story. Now, these are some of the story I want to tell. First of all, I want to tell year on year how our sales have been faring, and also I want to see the trend. I want to see the trend. Okay, I want to see the trend of this world. I want to see the trend of my sales. Also, I want to see which segment which segment is giving me the highest sales. I want to see the segment of customers that is giving me the highest sales. I want to see the top 5 customers that is buying a particular what? A particular product. Can you see that there are a lot of bunch of stories that I can tell using this data. Now, within the class now, I want 1 or 2 persons to tell me, with this data you have seen right here on my screen, what kind of story are you willing to tell? Just 1 or 2 persons, and I'll be fine. Then I go to the demo. So looking at each of these columns, this data I'm having, you tell me the kind of story that you want to tell. Like me, I've mentioned about 3 to 4 stories I want to tell using this data. You can unmute your mic and speak so that we will hear you and know the kind of story you want to tell using this data. You know, like I said, that the first thing is data, the second thing is your visual, and the third thing is your narrative. Okay, now we have the data. So what kind of narrative do you want to give in this data? So let me hear you speak. Feel free to unmute your mic and speak. Okay, so no response yet, but while I still await your okay. Oh, great.
Hello. So can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. So apparently I'm not seeing the whole what's it called? Is it column now? So what?
Yes, the whole columns. Okay.
Yeah. So what I would love to talk about is the mode of shipping and the time of how long it takes to get to the destination. But I'm not seeing the time. I mean,
I love that.
Okay.
I love that. That is so powerful. You want to see the mode of shipping. You want to tell a story around the mode of shipping. Okay? And also you want to see how long it took from the order to the what? To the date it was shipped. So you want to know how long it took from the day that it was ordered and to the day that it was shipped to the customer. That is so powerful. That is a powerful story that you can tell using this particular data. Thumbs up and kudos for you, meaning that you actually understand what it means to tell story using data. Any other person, maybe 1 or 2 persons more, so that we will get more compelling stories that we can tell using using this data we are seeing on the screen. Yes. We have a lot of them here, a lot of story you can tell.
Your mics and speak. Let me check the chats also, but you can unmute your mics and speak, please.
Yeah.
Okay, someone said.
Sorry.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So, good evening, all. So I'm just trying to check the, data. Probably you should go to the, experiment. You're right.
Okay.
Just go to the right where you have the data.
Yes, this is it to the right.
Can't see any figures there.
Yeah, there are figures. We have the sales.
Okay.
We have the quantity. We have the discount. We have the profits.
Okay.
And we have the shipping cost.
Okay.
So those are the
is it
figures
possible to tell a story around, probably the, region or the category, that has the highest, quantity?
Wow. You want to tell a story around the region, okay? Which region had ordered the particular product more, okay? You want to see the quantity that a particular region has ordered. That is also a powerful story to tell. And you want to know this so that you'll be able to create more promotions for them in order for them to buy more of that quantity. And also you want to see a particular region that is not buying a particular product. Is it as a result of their religion, or as a result of their climate, or is it as a result of their weather? So you want to put all those things into consideration to see the kind of story you can tell when it comes to the region and the quantity. Thumbs up for you. That is a very powerful story to tell. That's a very powerful story to tell.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello. You can actually be
go ahead,
like,
please.
okay, maybe the top 3 and bottom 3.
Beautiful. You want to see the top 3 region and you want to see the bottom 3 region. That is so wonderful. That is so wonderful. So that's beautiful. Now, somebody else wants to say something. Let me hear from you.
Sir, can we also tell the story about the product with the highest demand?
This is so wonderful. You want to see a particular product that is selling the most. You want to see you want to see the a particular product that has the highest number of order. Can you see it now?
Yes.
So with this you'll be able to tell maybe to produce more of that product. Okay, to make sure that that product is readily available within our store, so that whenever the customer comes in, there won't be need for them to be looking for that product, knowing fully well that that product is on the high demand. That is also a powerful story to tell. Can you see that if I leave us now, you will see that there will be hundreds of stories that you can tell using this particular data. Now, some of the things you have mentioned, let us see how we can build visuals in order to tell these stories. So, like I said, I don't want to go through the hassle of going through the Power Query and going through Power Query, get the data, and then begin to clean it. I've already done that already. So what I'm specific about is for us to build visuals and then test stories. If possibly, get a dashboard and then test stories using that dashboard. Okay, let's go there. So I have already I've already processed the data. Okay, I've transformed the data. I've gotten the data from the source. I have transformed it, and after transforming, I have loaded it into Power BI, and I've gone through some modeling in order to model this data, so that because time is our constraint here, I just have about 10 or 15 minutes thereabout in order to wrap up this particular class. But I can assure you that we can tell powerful stories. Now, this is the Power BI interface. This is a very powerful tool in order for you to analyze data. And it is so powerful because it is packed with a lot of AI visuals, okay, that will help you in order to tell compelling stories to the consumer of your report, or to the end users of your report. Now, after seeing this, the first thing I made mention was I want to see the difference between that. I want to see year on year what is our sales like year on year. So in order to do that, I will first of all use what we call I will use the order dates. Okay, I will select the order dates. So it is advisable, before you use any visual, first of all, build a table visual first before you go ahead. Now, once you select the order date, after selecting the order date, then I will also select the sales. So once I select the sales, I can now convert this into a clustered column chart. Okay, so once I select the cluster column chart, can you see this? This is so wonderful. You can see that year on year, there is an increase in our sales. Let me quickly format this. Let me quickly format this by adding a what? By adding the data label. By adding the data label. Can you see that? In 2011, we had sales of about 2.3 million, and in 2012, we have the sales increased to 2.7 million. And in 2013, the sales also increased from 2.7 million to 3.4 million. And in 2014, the sales also increased to 4.3 million. No, now you can see that I've been able to tell a story here, telling you that there has been a constant increase, okay, from year to year. Okay, in 2011, there is an increase. Now, somebody can now ask a question. Why, what is it that caused the increase from 2011 to 2012? That is where Power BI comes in. Power BI is so powerful that it has been packed with a machine learning algorithm that will help you to run through your data and give you reasons why there is an increase within your sales from a particular year to the next year. Now let us take the 2012 bar in question. If I right click on the 2012 bar, okay, once I right click on it, I will come to analyze. Under analyze, can you see this? I have explained the increase. The moment I click on explain the increase, it will tell me that here is the analysis of 18.5% increase in the sum of sales between 2011 and 2012. Now I can confidently tell anybody that within this data, between 2011 and 2012, there is 18.5% increase in the sum of sales. So with this, whosoever is listening to me will understand that I understand what I am doing. Now from here, you can see that the first result given to us is our sum of sales by region. Okay, it's saying that North Central, which is this, North Central Oceania, other and Central with South contributed what? Accounted for the majority of the increase among region. So meaning that if you are considering region, these regions were the region that increased in their sales. Can you see that? So if you are okay with this particular visual, this visual is called waterfall. This particular visual I'm seeing here is called waterfall. There are other reasons. This is not just only the reasons. Power BI has given us a lot of reasons. Look at the next one. He's saying that sum of sales by year and other priority, meaning that medium accounted, meaning that the other priority, which is medium, meaning that more customers use the medium order priority. Okay, the medium order priority gave meaning that there was an increase in the medium priority, okay, among the other priority. Okay, so and critical and medium change the most, which is this medium and also critical. You can see that critical is red. There is a decrease. Okay, there is a decrease when it comes to critical. So critical did not increase, but rather there was a reduction in terms of that. There are other ones that you can actually select from here to tell that story. Now imagine just a single visual. With this single visual, I'm able to tell a lot of stories. Can you see that? A lot of stories. And if there's anyone here by country, we see that Australia and France, okay, Australia, France, India are the largest increase among country. Okay, are the highest increase among country, meaning that this country, their purchases, the purchases in this country or the sales in this country increase from 2011 to 2012. So if I'm okay with this, I'll just come here, select this, and then add it as part of the story I want to tell my audience. Can you see that? Just a single visual. Look at the number of stories that I can tell. Another story I can tell here, is to come to this visual and click on this drill down button. If I click on this drill down button and I want to see by quarter what is happening in how the sales happen in different quarter. Once I've clicked on the drill down, select this button, select the bar in question. You see that You see that in quarter one, we made 0.6 million. In quarter two, we made 0.93 million. In quarter three, we had 1.20 million. And in quarter four, which is the highest, we have 1.48 million. Now, if I want to see if I want to see in quarter four, the particular month that gave us the highest sales in quarter four, I will select quarter four again, and it will drill down into the various months, and you can see that November gave us the highest sales in quarter four in 2014. That is a compelling story. So whatever thing that has happened in that month of November, what it means is that we should continue to work to do it, or even increase our strategy to ensure that we sell more in the month of November. If I don't want to work with this again, I can now go up, drill up, and back. I am back to the year, and then I go back to my report. So all what you have mentioned, we can create a compelling story from them. Now imagine just a single visual, we are able to tell a lot of what? A lot of story. That is why I used to say now imagine when you now have so many visuals within your dashboard. Can you see this? I have the total profit, the total sales, and then the total quantity. And then I have the geographical sales by country, and then I have the sales by year, and here I have the sum of sales by the order priority. Okay, and from here you can see that medium had the highest in terms of order priority. Now looking at the sum of sales by ship mode, we can see that the standard class has the highest. Can you see? The standard class made the highest sales when it comes to the shipping mode. All right, and then you will now begin to ask, why are they not patronizing? Why are they not much people of the same day? Maybe the shipping cost for the same day is higher. Maybe that was the reason why they are not they are not patronizing the same day. Do you understand? Only people that want express. That is why you see that there are less number, or there is less amount of sales made from that shipping mode. Also, we have the sales by country. Okay, if I expand this, you can see it is clear that in North America, United States, with the largest bubble, gives us the highest sales of about 2.29 million. Okay, I think followed by this order. All you just need is to overrun and look at and use the tooltip. Can you see? The tooltip will enhance this for you. Can you see that? So this is another beautiful way using map in order to show geographical location. Do you see that? Also, we have the sum of sales by customer name. Okay, so this is more like top 10 customers, and we can see that Tom Ashbrook is the one that is patronizing us the most when it comes to our sales. He was the one that bought the highest overall. All right, I can say, okay, I don't want to see the sum of sales. Let me see the average. I will come to my y-axis here, turn the sum of sales, and then say average. Okay, on the average, you now see that Tom Brook is no longer the highest. Tom Brook is now the third, while Sean Miller on the average is the one that is giving us the highest. Can you see that we are now beginning to tell a compelling story and then bring out insight? So with this, it will be easier for the consumers of this data, consumer of this report, to take to make their decision. So somebody might be interested in the sum of sales, while somebody else might be interested in the average. So with that, you will be able to tell your story. Now, what is my final thought on this? Data storytelling is equal to insight plus emotion plus action. When you use the right tools to build impactful, when you use the right tools, you will be able to build impactful what? Stories. Any question? So over to the...
All right, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Mr. Chukwutem, for that insightful presentation. I'm pretty sure we all learned a thing or two. We have a lot of questions that we want to have. The floor is now open for questions, and I'll be reading from the chat. But if you would like to raise your hand and ask your question live, feel free to do so now. So we can now dive into the question and answer section. So if I will check the chats for any questions to see if we have any questions in the chat. Do we have any questions? Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have anything that they want to Mr. Chukwutem to clarify for them? If you don't, me, I have a couple of questions that I actually want to ask. But before I ask my question, does anybody have any question they want to ask? Anybody?
Okay. Hello.
All right.
Okay, go
Please
ahead, Quadri.
introduce
Yeah.
yourself
So
and then go
my
ahead to
hand has
ask your
actually
question.
been my hand has actually been up since. So probably you didn't see that. So thank you very much, for this, beautiful presentation. I'm sure that is just one thing about, training. No matter how, short it is. I mean, you can always pick one or two things, that you've never known, before. So thank you very much, for that. So what I want to find out is, I know because of the short, time, probably you've done some work and you're just, presenting it to us. But how, to navigate, through this, to get to this level. I don't know if there will still be any opportunities to learn, especially this summary. So I understand up to the point, where you check the dashboard and you were showing each one, but getting to this summary part that has almost everything, I think that is just one, area I'm not really, clear with. Each of the charts here is very clear. I understand each one of it, but how did you arrive at, putting everything together on just a summary page, in this, summary dashboard? It's just where, I think we need more clarification on that. But beyond that, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Quadri, for this question. Hopefully, this also calls for the organizers of the program to bring up another section where we will now look at this. Where we will now look at how you can create a dashboard like this. Okay, how you can create a simple dashboard like this that will tell a very powerful story. But let me just do one or two for you. Now we have created what we created. We create this first visual. Okay, all you just need to do is to adjust it. When you create the second visual, you can as well adjust it. Okay, and once that is adjusted, you can format each of the visual. All right, you can format each of the visual. We also show you quickly how where to go in order to format the visual. Let me just add one or two other reports to this. First of all, I will select the card visual and do a I want to do the total sales. So let me click on the sales. So that is how to bring up a card visual. All right. So all you just need to do is to arrange it. Can you see that? Also, I will copy this and paste and have another card visual. But this time around, I want to use the profit. Okay. I will also copy this and paste and also want to use I want to bring up the quantity. So that is how you can create the card visual. Okay, so all this you see here, that is how they are created. All right. and these other ones also. That is how they were created. If I want to create a geographical data, I will choose a geographical data point, which is, let me use the city. So immediately I click on the city, take note, you must have. Can you see that it has already given me the points where all the cities are? Can you see that? It has given me the point where all the cities are in the world. And you can see that more of the concentration is in North America and in Europe. All right, is in North America and in Europe. So with this, you can be able to tell how this you can be able to mark the locations that that we have more of our sales coming from. Also, let me add the sales to it so that the bubbles is going to come with the sales. So this is another way of creating this. So let me also create one more, which is the shipping mode. Let me select this and then add, let me say, the shipping mode with the with the sales. Okay, so the shipping mode that is giving us the highest sales. Can you see? I've also created this other one. So all I just did was to arrange all the report within one page. Okay, and of course your your dashboard will not make sense without adding a slicer. Of course, it will not make sense without adding a slicer. So I'll bring in a slicer. I will place the slicer somewhere here, and I want to use the region as my slicer. So let me select the region. Let me select the region. This is the region. So I'm selecting the region as my slicer. I can come to, so for me to now format this, very easy to format. I will only format one of them and use the formatting of one of them to carry out the rest. And how do I do that? I will select this visual, and after selecting this visual, we'll come to the visualization pane here. So under this visualization pane, I will select the format visual. The first thing I want to do is to add what we call is to on the data label. We have the data label on already. I will come to general. Under general, I will go to the title and edit the title. Can you see? So this is how to edit the title. We have the sales by year, and also under the title, I want to change the text color to blue. I want to change the text color to white, and the background of it to blue, and then I can now make it to, I can now centralize it. And also part of the effects like that I can add to this, I can add a background effect, I can add a visual border. Okay, under the visual border, I can I can change the color of the visual border, and after changing it, I can as well increase the weight of it. Can you see the effect? Can you see the effect on it? And after adding the weight, I can as well add shadow. Can you see that this is coming up nice? So once I'm okay with this particular one, all I just need to do is to come to the format painter here, select the format painter, and use this one to format other visuals. Can you see that? Use this to format other visuals. Use this to format other visuals. Select the format painter, use it to format this. Select the format painter again, use it to format this. Select this, format this, select, and then format. Can you see? Just a single visual that I have created, I was able to use it in order to format the rest of my visuals. Then, of course, your report will not make any sense without an heading. How do you add an heading to your dashboard report? All you just need to do is to come to the text box, select the text box. Okay, I want to move this text box to the top. I want to move this text box to the top, of course. Let me move this. Select this text box. I want to move it. Good. So I'll move it to the top, drag it to the right and to the left, drag it to the ending, and then reduce the size, and then begin to type summary. summary dashboard report. Okay. And after doing this, I can now edit this, place it at the center, make it bold, increase the size, change the style, increase the size, change the style, change the color of it. And once that is done, I'm good. Can you see my report is coming up? All you just need to do is to adjust these other visuals so that they can sit well. Okay, arrange the visuals so that they can sit well. Can you see? So that they can sit well. So of course, with this, you will be able to create a report. Now, somebody might ask, how do I use the filter? All I just need to do is to say, okay, I want to see what is happening in Africa. Where is Africa? Let me drag this guy down. I want to see what is happening in Africa. So everything that is showing on the screen here is what is happening in what? In Africa. If you look at the geographical location, it has filtered down, it has sliced it to what? It has sliced it to Africa. Can you see? It has sliced it down to Africa. With this, I can get my insight. Can you see? The total sales is 783 point this thousand. The total profit is 88.87, and the sum of quantity that was purchased within this region is 11K. Can you see? I begin to get insight. Let me go to the South Asia. Under the South Asia, everything that is happening within South Asia will appear on the dashboard. Your dashboard will now become interactive. So that is how I was able to achieve this. I don't know if your question was answered, Quadri.
All right. Daramola, does that
Yeah,
answer?
very well. Thank you. Yeah, very well.
Great. You are
Thank you
welcome.
Thank you.
so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Chukwutem, for answering that question with so much details. I even learned a thing or two while you were answering that question. But we have one question in the chat, and this person
Okay.
says, how can one know the important visualization? How can one know the important visuals? That is the important insights or KPIs to use when doing a dashboard presentation.
Beautiful. So for you to know if it is a demo data you are working with, let's say for example, you are working on an insurance data and you want to know the important KPIs to track. All you just need to do, you don't need to stress yourself. Just go to your browser, okay, and go to any search engine, all right, maybe like your Google, and say important KPI to track in an insurance company or industry. It will tell you the KPI to track. Can you see? We have the loss ratio, we have the average policy size, we have the claims ratio, we have the expense ratio, we have the retention ratio, we have the customer satisfaction, we have the policy renewal rate, okay, the rate at which a particular a set of customers are renewing a particular policy, and also the average payout per claim and average cost per claim. So you always get it from here. And apart from that, if you are working for a client, the client would have given you a brief of what KPI he or she wants to see within the data, within your dashboard. Okay. But if you are just working on your own, maybe you come across any data at all, try to know the industry that data belongs to. All you just need to do is to go to a search engine, just as I have mentioned here, in order to track KPI. Let's say, for example, I want to see something in HR, in an HR company. Let me select this and say HR. I want to see in an HR company. Can you see that the KPI changes? We have absenteeism, we have satisfaction, we have involuntary turnover rate, okay? we have the turnover rate, we have the cost per hire. Okay, what is the cost per hiring a particular employee? We have the employee engagement, we have the health cost per employee. So you will always get these KPIs on the internet like this. And as well, like I said, there is always a brief before you start any before you start any before you start any analysis, and ensure you ask questions as well, that what would you like to see within the dashboard. Okay, and that will now lead you to determine the kind of KPI that will be present on your dashboard.
All right.
I don't
Thank
know
you
if
very
that answers your
much,
question.
Putin. Thank you very much for that lovely answer. And I hope that answered the question for Chukusom. I hope that answered your question. All right, there's a message in the chat box saying thank you very much. All right, I'm guessing that answered your question. As you can see, Mr. Chukwutem has shared so much insights, so much knowledge when it comes to data storytelling and visualization. And I'm pretty sure that we all that attended this webinar has taken one or two knowledge, and that is going to stick with us for a very long time. Now, as we wrap up, I want to say a very huge thank you to Mr. Chukwutem Ossai for this amazing session. As there are no more messages coming in on the chat box, I'm guessing there are no more questions that you want to ask. Also, I would like to thank Mr. Ari Yakub, our host, for driving force behind the DSC community. And to everyone who joined, we truly appreciate your time. We hope today's masterclass has sparked some new ideas and encouraged you to explore the power of data storytelling with tools like Power BI. Um, we would be dropping a link in the chat box that will take you directly to the DSC community, and would also have a feedback form that will be dropped in the chat box and can also be sent to you after the call. But do well if you're interested in joining our community so that you can be updated as to when the next webinar is going to be coming up, or when the next class is going to take hold. Please do well to click the link that will take you directly to join the DSC club. Now, that's for those people that are interested in joining the DSC club. And I would also like to bring to your um knowledge that DSC also takes training for those that are interested in mastering of tools like Power BI, Python, Excel, Tableau, and every other analytical tool out there. DSC also offer training session in how to use those tools. So if you're interested, please drop a message on the chat box, and or click the link to the DSC community, and it will take you right there. And when you get there, you can just ask for more information, and it will definitely be given to you. Now, please, at Blessing CM, can you please help me drop the link to the DSC community in the chat box, so that those that are interested in joining the community can click the link real quick. And of course, please do not forget that you have to please try help us fill out the feedback form so we can know how well you enjoyed the webinar session today, the masterclass session today, and to know when next you'd like for us to hold the next masterclass, and get more suggestions for you pertaining anything that has to do with the data space. But I'm pretty sure we've all learned beautiful things today. We'll be sharing a recording of this session. The feedback form has already been shared. That's right after this event. We'll be sharing a recording of the feedback of this session, this masterclass. And of course, remember that your feedback means a lot to us. Again, it means a lot to us, and it will help us plan even better sessions going forward. Thank you very much, Blessing CM. The link to the DSC community, that's for those of us that are not part of the DSC community, has already been dropped in the chat box. So be sure to follow the DSC community across all social media platforms, Twitter, and oh, sorry. Yeah, be sure to follow the DSC community across all social media platforms to ensure that you're staying updated for future events. And of course, remember, click the link, join the DSC community. If you do not want to miss out on master classes and webinar sessions like this, because trust me, we're already cooking up something that's going to definitely be happening very soon. But it's been a wonderful session. And of course, I'd like for Mr. Ariaku to please come and give us some parting words before we end the webinar this evening, the masterclass this evening. I would like for Mr. Ariakub to come up, of course, introduce the team behind this masterclass, and of course, have give us a word of encouragement before we close and say good night in the webinar today. Mr. Ariakub, please, are you there?
Hello, guys. What's up? Hello? Can you hear
Hi,
me?
Sam.
All right, Mr. Yes,
Sam,
we're
can
here
you
with
Sam?
you.
All right. What did you call me for, please?
Okay, I would like for you to give us a few words of encouragement as we close the masterclass this evening. Of course, help us introduce the wonderful team behind DSC, the DSC
All
community,
right. Thank you
and
very
class this evening. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Blessing. Thank you so much for always anchoring programs like this for us. God bless you. So when you said I should give us some words of encouragement, something came to my mind, please, on the side notes, right? And guess what came to my mind? There's no encouragement anywhere. There's no motivation anywhere. Give up if you want to give up. Anyway, that's on the side note. Anyways, that's just on a lighter note, right? But on a more serious note, I know it's quite daunting. It could be quite daunting to get into the data space without proper guidance, without proper without someone holding your hands through, right? There's a popular quote that goes thus: those who see very far see far because they stand on the shoulders of giants that went before them, which is why we have created this community, this platform, this club, in order for us to propagate the good news of data and AI. Please permit me in very few seconds to share a very short story, which is part of the things I share anytime I have the opportunity to talk on a big stage, right? By big stage, I mean whether I'm talking on a podcast or on a radio station, I'm trying to pitch to a client or something, right? This is what I usually tell them, right? This is it, right? So think back a little bit, right, to about, say, early 2000s, right? Early 2000s, late 1900s, early 2000s, right? You would notice, right, that was when the issue of cybercrime became a thing in Nigeria, right? Who can remember that? If you can remember that, please give me a thumbs up, right? Cybercrime, Yahoo, that's what I mean, right? Please give me a thumbs up if you can remember all of those things. I'm talking about late 1900s, early 2000s. Is anybody following? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're
Yes,
here
sir,
with
we
you.
are following.
Oh, I said, all right, great, right? So something came to my mind during this period. By God's grace, I lived around an environment where cyber cafes then were selling things, right? Now, in my mind, I was thinking. I remember whenever we had cyber cafes, those were the thriving businesses. A lot of people would go do night shift and all of that over into the next day. So recently, I drive past that same area, go past that area, and I'm seeing those cyber cafes are gone, right? In my mind, I'm saying, so what happened to those cyber cafes? They are dead, right? But cybercrime still stays. Now, in what I'm trying to say in essence is, as at that time, what was Silicon Valley doing, right? What was China doing? Eventually, China and Silicon Valley was busy training and recruiting and grooming tech giants, whom eventually today we now have things like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and the likes, right? Now, what I'm trying to say in essence is this: while Africa was busy teaching our children folks how to do cybercrime or enabling them to do cybercrime, the Western world was busy training and preparing their children to take over the world, right? So there's never been a time, if I think far back a little bit, just think far back, when has there ever been a time when Africa led the economic forum, or when Africa led the industrialization? So if you go through the four industrial revolution, I'm talking from the first industrial revolution to the fourth one. Currently, we're in the fourth industrial revolution, which is the revolution of robotics, process automation, robotics, artificial intelligence, and all of that, right? Which was given birth to by the industry of big data, right? Now, if you think far back, you discover that there's never really been a time when Africa really led any of these things, right? Instead, what we're breeding is people who leverage the internet for not so good stuff, right? So what I'm trying to say in essence is, I think it is time that but Nigerians and by extension sub-Saharan Africa begins to think in that light, and that's why people like us are beginning to create forums, create platforms like the Data Science Club, to talk about these things, and because the scripture says that it starts with the renewal of the mind. I'm sorry to the guys from the other divide of the belief, right? So basically, it starts with the renewal of the mind. So these platforms are supposed to help us change our minds and begin to think in the right direction, one, and also create an enabling environment. Like I said earlier, it is quite daunting to get into this space, right? In order for us to actually, just like I would always tell my team members, together everyone achieves more, right? So that you don't stay in silo. One of the difficult problems, or one of the problems you face within this space, is staying in silo. So we're helping you solve that problem. That is why our second pillar is the fact that we have created a community of like-minded individuals, right, that are burden bearers. So I would love to end on that note, that please leverage this kind of community, this kind of club, right, to create a better version of yourself. Like I said earlier, I would love to really be your mentor, to mentor you and guide you through all of these. It would be my great pleasure, honestly, to do that for you, and so that we can together, right, while we harness your gift sets and your skill sets, we also use in accordance, rather, while we harness your skill sets and your gift sets together with every other member of the community, right, we can build a community, a global community that can actually now pivot or push for the adoption of artificial intelligence, robotics, process automation, data science and data analytics, business intelligence within Nigeria and by extension sub-Saharan Africa. I hope you want to join us on this journey, as we invite you to join the Data Science Club for those that are not members yet, right? And if you think, right, that this is not good enough, if you really enjoy this kind of content, you really want to be part of all this kind of stuff, but you don't really know where to start, you have been thinking, like the other guy who answered my question first and said, he's been thinking of how to become a data science student, right? This is an opportunity for you to reach out to us, right? Reach out to us. We have structured training plan for you, although that comes with of course, at a cost, right? Because those who pay attention, right? We'll try our best at Data Science Club to give free content to help you, guide you, and all of that. But if you are just getting into the field, it can be quite daunting. When Chukwutem Ossai and maybe myself, other guys that will come in the club to give us webinars, it might be quite daunting, it might be quite difficult to actually grasp what they say at the technical level. You might be looking at the technical nuances and saying, how do I navigate, just like the other guy said, how do I navigate this, how do I do this? In order for you to actually mitigate all of these questions, we have structured training plans within the data science space, data analytics space, robotics, process automation, UI, UX, even cyber security. So you can reach out to us. If you have friends who are intending to get into this space, you can reach out to us. We can have a one-on-one session with you, to guide you and direct you how we think you should go. Trust me, most of the guys on the team are actually holding very good positions here and there. I give a brief introduction to myself. I don't like to actually talk about some of the works that I do for some reasons, right? Because I don't want to be chased, right? I don't want to be kidnapped. But basically, we produce some of these products, some of the AI and data products you see sometimes in some of these big organizations. Like we go into organization, we create systems for them and actually have them monitor their processes, right? So basically, what I'm just trying to say in essence is, if you think you really want to be part of all of these kind of things, but you don't know how to start, this is just your first time of hearing all of these things, trust me, you will need a paid class. This is how I started. This is how Chukwutem started. This is how Tina started. Every single person on this group started by first and foremost going for paid classes and then joining communities and then of course leveraging those communities to build networks. While they were building networks and building skill sets and gift sets, and then of course collaborating with other people, they were able to do better. Right? Today we are doing better, and that is why we are trying to hold your hands. Trust me. And another day, I'll probably tell you the story of how I started. How I started is what led us into creating such platforms, creating such communities, and also what led me to start a company known as Resolutics. Right? You might want to follow us on all social media handles on our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and once in a while we drop content. We drop contents on YouTube and likes, right? Of course, you can see sometimes most times we actually advise people, both businesses and then of course students, right, to actually follow through. We actually advise them on things to do to follow through. So you might want to be part of this journey. You want to follow us on all our social media platforms, right? You follow us at DSC or you want to follow at Resolutics, right? Any of these platforms will actually get you started, right? So please, I actually actually acknowledge the fact that you guys are here. I appreciate the fact that you guys are giving your time to learning. In fact, there is no better gift you can give to yourself than learning to become a better version of yourself. And that is why we have created this platform, so that we can actually help you achieve the best version of yourself, right? In order to achieve the best version of yourself, we help you to gain wonderful skill sets. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I really appreciate your time. Like I said, follow us on all social media handles. Follow us at DSC. Come join the WhatsApp channel, just like the WhatsApp group, just like Tina has rightly said. Right? Please fill the feedback form. Fill the feedback form so that we can know what we did well and keep doing it better, and what we didn't do well and do something better. Thank you so much for your time. God bless us, everyone. Cheers. Over to you, Tina.
All right,
The final
thank
note, and then we can wrap up.
so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Yakub. But I definitely cannot let you guys go yet until I introduce the team to you. We have our wonderful
Oh, sorry,
uh
sorry, sorry, Tina, sorry.
blessing Lewa. That's our
That's not your
blessing.
call. Sorry,
Yeah.
Tina, hold on. That's not your call, Tina, hold on.
Yeah.
I
All
totally
right.
forgot.
Do you want to do
So
it,
thank you
Ari?
very
Miss
much. Thank you very
Ari.
much for reminding me. Yeah. Sure,
All
I'll
right.
do it. Give me the honors to do that. So behind last time I was on a podcast, right? I was asked to. I discovered the host of the podcast kept on saying, "Oh, you're doing so marvelously. You're doing it." I'm like, "Oh, okay, hold up, right? I couldn't have gone this far without the wonderful team behind the scene. Every night and day, at night we are brainstorming, you are working hard. For example, you see the person who dropped the link is someone else, not me. If you see the person who anchored today, someone else, not me, right? I am just a steward of all of these teams, so that we can actually organize these skill sets and these gift sets into something that is holistic, right? Without further ado, please give me the honors to actually introduce the guys behind the scene, right? So once I call your name, please just identify, say hi to the team, and of course, so that we can get to know you and know the other members of the team, right? So anytime you see us post anything on social media, anytime you see us create flyers, create wonderful pictures, create wonderful videos, right? The person who's going to even share the link with you, right? The recording of this video, right, is the person behind our social media handles. Imagine I just told you that you should follow us on all social media handles as DSC. There's one person who late at night is responding to messages. Early morning when you call him, he's actually running up and down. He actually holds the vision of DSC at heart, because he has a vision in his heart to ensure that Nigerians, and by extension sub-Saharan Africans, get really educated about the data science and AI space. And he's also very interested in the in the fourth industrial revolution. He's no other person than Precious David William, right? He's a very wonderful anchor, a very strong pillar to rely on. I mean, he's been doing great and wonderful, amazing job. Some of you on this call already know him, and he's just an amazing person. I mean, there's no other word. I don't even know any other word to use, man. But basically, let's please give a round of applause to Precious David William. Please, Precious David, say hi to the team, to the group, right?
Hello, good
Precious, are you
evening,
there?
everybody. Yes, I am. I am. Good evening, everyone. I
Yeah,
hope we're all doing fine. I hope we're all
exactly.
doing good. Yeah. So I hope we all took note of what was said today in the webinar, right? And we all should pay close attention to the groups and the social media handles to know when next we're going to be doing this. Okay. All right. I got my own fair share of information from this, and I hope you all did. I hope you all got yours. So that's basically it, right? Keep pushing, keep refiring. More to come from DSC. Have a lovely night.
All right, thank you so much, Precious. He's a wonderful and an amazing person to actually rely on. Just so you know, Precious is also a trainer, just like every one of us on the team. He's also a trainer. He has trained both within and outside Nigeria. He has a lot of his students in Canada, in the UK, in the US, and likes. So he's an amazing person. He's waking up in the middle of the night to train people. Just so you know that he doesn't just handle social media handles. He also does data analytics. Just permit me to also say that he's a graduate of mechanical engineering from Maritime School. I don't know how he found himself in the data space. He's a wonderful guy, trust me, anytime, any day. That being said, our wonderful host for today, right, is see now this I'm going to say it this way, right? She's a graduate. Funny thing is, she's a graduate of mass communication, but she does excellently well. Let me say something that happened one time. So we're talking about using Power BI for a particular project, and then she looked at us and said, "I don't like Power BI. Can we write SQL and Python?" I'm like, "Hello, you graduated in mass communication with mass communication. What are you doing?" Right? So she's a wonderful and insightful person who loves the technical aspect of things. Trust me, you've heard very beautiful English from her. Trust me, when she's behind her computer writing codes, it's a different case. She doesn't even want to talk to anybody. She wants to be locked up in one place. She can write codes for hours and hours non-stop. She builds amazing, wonderful automation systems for businesses. She's currently doing a very wonderful project currently. I don't have to say it out there, but it's been quite hectic. We've been following through, but she's an amazing, wonderful person. Please, no other person than her name is Tina Teide. Please pardon me, I beg your pardon, right? But I don't like calling her Tina because she's been a wonderful. How I met her was her name was Blessing. She's been a wonderful blessing to the community. So I love to call her Blessing PR because she's our public relations person. So whenever you hear we want to give out information, we are doing a research. She's the person who helps us put the words together and make sure I am speaking the right English. All these things I'm saying today, I probably say she taught me. Anyway, so please give it up for Blessing PR Yata Iteide. Please, let's say hi to us. They've heard your voice before. Just say hi to us one more time before we go.
Good evening, everyone. Again, it's me, your moderator. It's lovely again saying hi to you guys from this side. And again, I hope we have taken one or two knowledge from the session today. And of course, please, the link to DSC, click it so that you can be a part of the community. And of course, be aware when we're having our next masterclass and webinar. Until it's time for me to talk again, peace and love. Back to
All right,
you,
thank you so much,
Harry.
Blessing. Thank you so much, Blessing. Thank you so much. So there's another person. There's another. So just so you know, we are blessed in DSC. Just you need to be part of it. Trust me, because we have double blessing. Like everything na double double. So we have double blessing. There's another blessing. She's all the way from Accra, Ghana. she's not even a Nigerian, but she speaks Nigeria. She cooks our Ghanaian jollof for us, so that whenever we are having our conversations, she's the one who is always running her elder skelter to ensure that the community is together. Whenever we're having a fiscal anger, she's always looking out for us to ensure everybody is eating Ghanaian jollof. Right? It's not that person, but Blessing Lawe. I call her Mommy Wa. If you've seen that movie Mommy Wa, that's the kind of role she plays. She wants to ensure everybody is fine, everybody is good. So if you see that the community is moving, she's the brain behind that. She's always coming up with wonderful and insightful ideas to ensure that the community is together. She actually plays the role of Mommy Wa for real, right? So it's not that person, but Blessing Lawe, a Ghanaian Nigerian who has decided to be on the call with us. Now you can see we're already going global. So Blessing, please say hi to the team. You're muted, just so you know. Blessing.
She's shy. She's very, very shy. She's very, very shy.
Oh, okay. Oh,
But we
really?
love that
All
girl.
right.
If you can't say
All right.
something, just say
Listen.
hi. chat box so that you can be identified. Just say I in the chat box so that you can be
Okay,
identified.
okay, okay.
If
So
someone wants to reach
she's
out to you.
unavoidably absent right now to say something. She has just dropped a text with me. Right. So please thank you so much, Blessing, for all you do for being Mommy Wow on the team. Right. So the last and final person, of course, we've heard him speak, is an epitome of knowledge, an epitome of wisdom. Whenever my project is getting to a dark end that I don't see where to go anymore, the very first person I would want to look out for is a friend and partner. We've been together on several projects. Even we've done projects for intergovernmental organizations, right? I won't mention the name right now, but some people who know me with him, and some people know him with me, right? It's no other person but Chukwutem Ossai. He was our wonderful speaker for today. He's always an amazing person. Sometimes I even invite him to my office to come and work with me on projects. He's been an amazing person. He's worked for very good organizations, very wonderful organizations. He's always there to build wonderful and insightful dashboards for C-suite executives. He's not another person but Chukwutem Ossai. Chukwutem Ossai, you just want to say hi again to the team before we go? Please just say hi to the team before we go. I mean, they've read his profile. I don't need to say so much. He has MCSA, MOS, MCTA, MCT. He's just a master of all. You don't even say jack of all trades. This one is master of all, right? So please, Chukwude Mosai, he say hi
All
to
right.
us.
Thank you for taking your time out to be here, and also good to be in the team.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. A man of few words, but highly technical. All right. So thank you so much once again. I really appreciate your time today. Like I said earlier, let me introduce myself. I'm Harrison Yakubu. The wonderful God has helped me to be the convener of Data Science Club. And together, like I always say, together everyone achieves more. And together as a team, we're going to be, unifying and bringing together all the gift sets and skill sets within this team, right, to ensure that we propagate the gospel of data and artificial intelligence so that we can be so loud and so technical that our words and our works and our products will be seen both within and outside the shores of Africa. Thank you so much. Like I would always say, I would really love to mentor you through your journey in the data and AI space. I look forward to seeing you on the group, on the team, so that together we can achieve more together. Right? Thank you so much for spending time today with us. Today is Good Friday. Let me quickly say that today is Good Friday, and that is why we chose this day today to do all of this, to be good to our good people. Right? Jesus Christ died for us. Please let's not forget that. Let's not forget the reason for the season. We at DSC, we are highly spiritual and religious people. That we also welcome all sides of the divide. Just so you know, we pray together on the team. Just so you know, we are also every time, right, praying for the members of the team. Just so you know that most times when your project goes well, there are people in the team praying for you. Just so you know, yeah, you have strong anchors so yeah, you can rely on. Thank you so much for your time. God bless us, everyone. So from this point, I want to say a good night from here, and please enjoy the Easter holiday. Cheers.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Ari. Thank you very much, everyone, for being a part of our masterclass. Again, if you haven't clicked the link to join the DSC community, please ensure you do that before you drop on the call. But it's a good night for me. And of course, happy Good Friday and enjoy the rest of your Easter weekend. Thank you very much for being part of our very, very, very first masterclass. Thank you, everyone. Again, click the link, feel the feedback from. We're looking forward to hearing from you so we can grow and then become better. Thank you very much. Have a lovely night.
Bye, all.
Good night, everybody. Thank you. Thank